inspired listening to everybody so far. What motivates and drives me? Let's see. So I own Ashby Confections. It's an artisan chocolate company here in town that I've been driving for a few years now, and I have a store up in Scotts Valley that I opened on winter solstice last year, 2013. And yeah, I've sure learned a lot about owning a business and banking and pushing paper around my desk, where to put the paper. It's a lot of paper. I took a trip recently up to Seattle because I needed a break. I needed to get out of that shop. And I literally, kid you not, I took 25 pounds of paper with me in a backpack. I came back with about 17 pounds. I got to throw some away up there. It was great. I come from a family of entrepreneurs and independent people. And so I sort of have that in my blood. And it is a bit of a lifestyle. We work 24/7. And there's a level of adrenaline that goes along with it. And I grew up in that. I steeped in that culture. And so now here I am, running my own show. And a lot of it is the challenge. And in fact, challenge is a lot of what got me into chocolate work. Chocolate is really tricky stuff. And I'm going to say something that one of my wonderful assistants said recently, and I had never said it to a customer before, but a customer came in and was asking some questions about working with chocolate, and she kind of just started explaining in detail some of the things that we have to deal with in order to go from chocolate to this confection, and all these details that go into it. And the lady was like, the customer lady, she was like, wow. And Lindsay goes, yeah, that's why it's expensive. And I was in the back and I heard her, and I just was kind of like, whoa. I would never say that, but it was kind of funny how she yeah, Lindsay's wonderful, and I love her. I do. I've adopted her. So it's really tricky stuff to work with. The temperature outside affects it, the humidity, all these little things, the temperature of, how hot do you warm it, and how cool do you cool it, and how much do you move it, and well, how do you cool it, how do you set it up, is there airflow, is there not, is it direct, is it not, is it 58 degrees, is it 60 degrees, is it 55 degrees, all these things matter with how it turns out. And so it's tricky stuff. And when I went to culinary school back in 2002, and I went for baking, and in there, when I was introduced to the confectionery arts and how beautiful a confection can be, and how you can use color, and how chocolate is so versatile that you can pair it with just about any flavor, just about anything, you name it, you can pair it in some way and you can make something amazing. And so the sky was the limit as far as flavor, and then texture. You can mold it against anything. You can shape it. It's like working with glass or metal. It's beautiful and visually. It's delicious, on the palate, and I just really fell in love with it. And part of it was the challenge of conquering this substance that is tricky to work with. I don't know how many of you know, but you cannot just buy a bar of chocolate and melt it and dip a strawberry in it and then set it on your counter or in your fridge and have it set up and look pretty and have a nice snap and a nice sheen and a nice smooth feel on your tongue. You can't do that. No. No, you have to do what's called temper it. So it's tricky stuff. And it was really challenging, and then working with sugar and making other confections other than working with chocolate, making a good caramel. It took me 7 years to get my caramel where I want it, of adjusting the method that I put the ingredients together and things like that. So it was the challenge. I like challenges. If you knew me personally, you could attest to that in other areas of my life. I have twins, for example, in vitro style. I chose to have 2 put in, stuff like that. So challenge is a big part of my life. Yeah, they're cute. Good thing they're cute. And what really drives me is working with the community. I love making my chocolates where I use ingredients that are grown here. I use Ron at Windmill Farms strawberries when I make my strawberry lemon creams and when I make my strawberry, my fruit sours, sour fruity strips. I love working with Ron strawberries. I think they're great. I think they're incredible. And I use Frog Hollow Farms stone fruits. Or I use my assistant Courtney's apricots from her backyard. That's also super awesome. And my assistant Heather gave me some Concord grape juice from her yard, and I made sour fruity strips with that. And I love using Clover organic dairy. Clover is just, up over the Golden Gate. It's not that far. And a host of other things, Happy Boy Farms, lavender, and Meyer lemons from the farmer's market. I love that. And just like Naomi was saying about using the raw product, you get so many more levels of flavor than if I was to buy lavender flavoring, even if it's lavender essential oil, it doesn't matter. And Meyer lemon, same thing, flavoring or essential oil. I've made them side by side, and I proved it to myself over and over, and to other people, that when you make something and you use the source of the flavor, the oranges, the strawberries, the lemon, the lavender, the vanilla beans, what have you, it makes just an enormous difference in the complexity of the flavor. And one thing I'm very excited about, I'm so thrilled, is I'm making the switch to using a chocolate that I am equally as proud of. Because the chocolate industry, much like the coffee industry, there's some problems, to put it mildly. And so I've been using chocolate that's good. It's really good. Some people say it's excellent. But I've never been quite proud of it like I am about the strawberries and the lavender and Clover organic dairy. And so we're switching over to using Askinosie chocolate. And Askinosie is the last name of a man named Sean. And he started this chocolate company where he develops direct trade relationships with small farmers in Africa, the Philippines, and South America. And he goes down there, he develops relationships with them, he buys the beans directly from them, there is no middleman, he helps their communities by building wells and things like that. And he does profit sharing, which is unheard of in the chocolate industry. So he gives a percentage of the net profits to the farmers, which does ensure that he gets better beans, because the more he sells, the more they make. And his chocolate is outstanding. It's single origin, it's handcrafted, it's small batch, and it's got that level of social integrity that's beautiful. And when I got some of his chocolate, I bought like 20 kilos of it and made some truffles that are divine. But then I made some of my staple products I've been making for years with his chocolate instead of mine, and it was like mind-blowing. I was really, really excited about it. So I'm super thrilled to be offering that, and the look on someone's face and the sound that emanates from their being when they eat one of my chocolates that they love, that drives me absolutely. So yeah, I think I probably used up 6 minutes. Thank you.